Welcome everybody, it's Kristina Wolf here, and this is another episode of Energy Mastery, and today we have with us Maryam Webster. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do, Maryam?
Hi, well, like Christine said, my name is Maryam Webster, and I am, first of all, a process creator. And I was a therapist for 30 years, and I dual majored. So I was both a psychotherapist as well as an industrial psychologist, which is the psychology of marketing. So I got in there and did testing on the red button and the blue button and things of that nature, and what makes people buy things. And I got very interested because I was hit by a drunk driver and paralyzed in the 90s, pretty much through most of the decade. And I got very interested in energy therapies because nothing the doctors were presenting me, they told me to get a wheelchair, that I was going to never walk again. And I told them basically to go F themselves because, and by the way, that's the best answer when someone tells you you will never, because they have no clue what you can do. No clue at all. And this is smart, and this is smart.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you a tool later. Can I give some tools away, by the way? Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Cool. So cool tools. The thing that I knew was that I knew for sure that I could do more than the doctors knew. And I believed in myself, and I got to credit my mom. She called me every day, and I got so sick of her calling, but she says, I know you can do it, baby. I know you're going to walk again. And I did. It took me 9 years, but I did. So in that time, I was in a lot of pain. Can't take pain pills. Discovered energy therapies like tapping. Everyone's heard of, you tap, the tapping thing, and other stuff. Well, roll up to the 2000s, and I had changed my practice. I'd retrained as an executive coach, and I was doing coaching, business coaching and personal coaching of executive women. And the acceptance of energy therapies was just beginning at that time, but my clients were nuts about it. So I created this program called the Certified Energy Coach Program, and we ran for close to 10 years. And I melded those energy therapies together with the best of coaching techniques and taught healers, therapists, hypnotherapists, massage therapists, social workers, doctors, chiropractors, nurses, everybody who's in a human service field, how to use the energy therapies with their clients. And we worked mainly on resistance. That's the thing. So that's the thing that's holding you back from success. If you're not where you want to be in life or business or anywhere else, relationships, etc., it's that you have some resistance inside, limiting beliefs. And so I worked on my limiting beliefs, and I used the tapping method to get out of pain. And I was using it with clients and discovered that there was, when we're all sitting around the campfire, the therapists, and we're telling the truth about it, it really only works about 75% of the time. The other 25%, we don't know why it doesn't work, but it doesn't. So I dedicated myself to finding that out, and I was doing research and finding out certain things when a lot of these therapies started to be regulated, and you had to suddenly pay $10,000 to learn or to practice this one or that one.
Oh, wow.
And I was on the board of our professional association, the Association of Comprehensive Energy Psychology, at the time, and our humanitarian director said, Maryam, you develop process. I want you to develop us an energy therapy method that works when EFT doesn't, when tapping does not, and that will never be regulated or pay $10,000, and I can teach people around the world. So that's what I did, and that's called the ETHOS method. And ETHOS is an acronym. It stands for Energy Transformation and Healing Open Source. And the open source part of that harks back to the open source software. You could use it for free. So this is you can use it for free, and it's predicated on how people worldwide encode, just humans, period, encode what happens to us. So there are 3 different ways we encode that in the main, and that's what we see, what we hear, and what we feel. And you can use these 3, there's like channels. You can use these channels or these avenues to get into the depth, the core of yourself and what's going on in your life, and bypass all the resistance. So,
wow.
yeah.
Like, so many questions out of that. Or really, that's really awesome. That like seems like a very pioneering way of looking at it, because like you're saying, now it's energy medicine is a lot more mainstream than it ever was. And but I find that it's still very elusive how to explain that to people who know, like, my energy's off, but I don't really know how to articulate that. And especially for people in the healing modalities, they want to help people, but they don't know how to say, this is what I want to do to help people. And I think that's great. It helps you kind of explain in many levels what you do. And so could you tell me, like, if I'm a brand new entrepreneur, I'm a healer, and I'm struggling myself with my own energy, what could you tell me?
In what way struggling? What does that look like to you?
Let's say that I start out with a very idealistic view of the coaching industry, and I'm starting out my own business, and then all of a sudden, maybe I go through a health crisis. Maybe I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm not able to balance my personal energy with the energy I'm putting out versus how I'm helping myself.
Gotcha.
Support myself.
First of all, I would want to do an energy check on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like take your car in for a tune-up, and they check out all the other systems, that sort of thing. And what we would do is check out, where you're leaking. Where you're leaking is not necessarily what you think. A lot of times my clients, and I should say who I work with, who I'm working with right now is I'm helping women entrepreneurs who have a mission, a serious social good mission in life. They want to change the world. So they're world changers, and I'm helping them launch their own movements. And they are in the main, they are healers of one kind or another. And what I find, for instance, is an inability to say no. That's a huge energy leak. So if you're taking on all the projects, everywhere, and you don't want to be a jerk, and you want to, we have the good girl syndrome going on with particularly women healers. And we kind of have been acculturated growing up that you don't say no, or if somebody's really sick and messed up, you can't let them go, and you have to do something.
Your empathy is really engaged at that point.
It is. Yeah. And also I am very clear that I am not a charity. Very clear on that point. I'm not a charity, and I have a cutoff point, and so should you. So should everybody. If you're right now, so I was a therapist for 30 years, and I worked with extremely, clinical cases. Mm-hmm. I don't anymore. I don't even go within 50 yards of a clinical case. That's someone who is severely, severely in need of, every week, twice a week kind of therapy. Mm-hmm. My cutoff is you have to be functional. I don't do dysfunction anymore in my life.
Right.
And that's in any area of my life. I don't accept it from myself either. Yeah. So if you want to be my friend, got to be functional. Can't be dysfunctional. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a client of mine, you have to be pretty daggum highly functional. Not perfect, because none of us are perfect, but you need to know where your cutoff point is and where your energy starts to drain when you're hanging out with, like, I had friends from college that I had to kind of come to the point of going, I can't hang out with them anymore. I just can't. Yeah. They're negative. They are, the world's going to end any day now kind of people. And this or that group are jerks. I don't want to hang out in that energy. So I have
taking away from your mission, really. You can't focus if you're over here worrying about all this distraction.
It really does. So we're not even getting into like your energy meridians or your chakras or anything, leaking energy. Mm-hmm. So when I say leaking energy, people tend to think of things like that. But you look around in your life and see where you're spending your energy, mm-hmm. and you can pull it back in. Just like you have a little fishing reel, mm-hmm. reel it back.
Yeah, absolutely. So it takes some learning discernment, like maybe I don't like being around this person anymore, because when I'm around them, I don't feel energized. And then when I don't feel energized, I'm wasting a lot of time building myself back up. And then I can't worry about this really awesome idea I had for my clients. And I think that's exactly where I'm going with this whole series is you want to be able to rock your mission. And if you're really stuck in that dysfunction, or people are pulling you out of alignment constantly, how do you get yourself back into alignment? How do you stay there?
I got a tool. This is where I want to pop out this tool because it's so cool. And also, there's a coaching question that if I get a client coming in, and anybody can have an off week. Somebody is sick, somebody dies, somebody is in your family, or it's you. And I get that, but when it's every time, after the third time, I really kind of don't put up with that. I'm like, okay, we need to discuss.
That's a story you keep telling yourself.
It's a story. And what I see is that you have a choice. Mm-hmm. There are people that you've said you desperately need to be there for. You need to help them, this precious group of ideal clients, right? You're still down for that, right? And the client will say, yep, still want to do that. Oh my God, love them. How long, this is my question, how long are you willing to let them suffer?
Yeah, that piece where in order for them to hold that space for them to kind of grow and learn on their own, that discomfort to get to the point where they want to change. Yes.
So you got to get your shit together, because your clients are out there suffering, and you're fooling around with, just basic trivia. You're making minuscule trivia more important than alleviating their suffering. So it's literally fish or cut bait time.
Right.
So there's that. And then there's this tool I want to show you. So are you ready?
I am ready.
It's a cool tool. All right. So you have an inner bullshit detector. This is your inner bullshit detector, and it's going to help you so many different ways. And everyone was born with one. You have 2 areas of your body that tell the truth reliably, time after time. Doesn't matter what your culture is, where you come from. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. And that is your heart and your stomach. So let's just, for a second, we're going to explore what this is like. In your heart, when you look at something beautiful, say you're looking at a little puppy or a kitten or a little baby or a beautiful sunset, you just go, oh, it's so cool. That light, fluffy almost, or champagne bubble like, or floaty, feathery feeling, that is a feeling of truth. That's yes. Truth is light, and it floats, right? And on the other hand, if somebody has lied to you and they're lying, and you're kind of like, oh, and you get this feeling in your stomach, like you get almost sick to your stomach.
That gut feeling. Yeah. Something's not right.
That is, so truth is light and floaty, and falsehood or a lie or something you shouldn't do is heavy and feels greasy and like indigestion. Okay? So you put your hand on your heart, your stomach, and I do this 100 times a day. Put your hand on your heart and your stomach and ask yourself the question you need to ask. So do you have a question that would be pertinent right now that we could use as a test for this?
Oh,
you know the truth about.
Let's see. Wow, this is interesting, like how to narrow this down.
Oh, shit is getting real now.
There you go. How truthful do you feel that I am?
Okay. So you're asking yourself, by the way, you're not asking me.
Yeah.
So this is put your hand on your heart and your stomach, and you ask like this: truth, I am a truthful person.
I am a truthful person.
No. Truth. I am a truthful person.
I am a truthful person.
Now, between these 2 areas of your body, what do you feel?
Like, it's true.
What do you feel in these 2 areas?
That it's true, but that it's also important that other people know that. I don't know why.
So how does that feel in your body? I'm looking for a physical feeling. What physical feeling do you get in your heart or your stomach? You're still in your head.
In my heart or my stomach? Like, it's true. Like, I already know that, but maybe other people don't.
And there is an attached physical feeling that goes, you're still in your head.
Yeah.
That goes along with that. So where does that manifest, heart or stomach or both? And what does that feel like?
It feels like a little bit of conflict.
Okay, you're still in your head because you're using emotion words. And let me give you an example. So I'm going to ask myself, truth. I am a truthful person. And I get an immediate feeling like butterfly wings going up like in my heart.
Half of me is floating and the other half is like, what if other people don't believe me?
Okay. That's a conflict. And if we had time, I know we're running out of time, but if we had time, I could teach you how to resolve that really quickly.
Awesome.
But the floaty feeling in your heart, that is truth. And it's important that you know that you have this conflict there, because what if other people don't believe you? And my coaching question to you is, who cares?
Right?
If they don't believe you, they don't belong in your life. You're not meant for them. They're not meant for you.
So much to branch off of that. Like, you know, this might be someone's spiritual path to learn to just stand in their own truth. And it doesn't matter if somebody else believes you or not. And then they get good at that.
It doesn't matter no matter what your path is. If it's spiritual or if you're an auto mechanic, it really does. And by the way, I've met some spiritual auto mechanics. It does not matter what your path in life is. What other people think of me is none of my business. It's none of my business.
Yes.
It says more about them than it says about me.
And I wanted to say too, like, these are the things that people, like when we're talking about those feelings, we all feel them, but we don't know how to articulate them.
Right.
It's like so many of us require a relearning of how to say, well, I feel that floaty feeling, or I feel that.
The body is a truth teller. It's your one go-to. It will never, okay, your tongue, that will lie for chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Every day. Your body, though, your heart and your gut are never going to lie to you. That's inbuilt. We have that from primitive times when we were first a primitive little creature. These were survival mechanisms we had. We had to have them. We needed to know, ooh, I got a weird feeling about going in that, that thicket of trees over there. And then you skirt around it and then you see a lion run out or whatever.
Yeah.
And that saved you. So this is from that was put there for a good reason, but we can use it in the modern day, both on our own stuff as well as other people. You've already met people in your life, no doubt, that you just love on sight. Oh my God, you're so awesome.
Yeah.
And people that you don't love, people that you're like, get the heck away from me. You don't even know who they are, but you don't want anything to do with them. That's these areas keeping you safe. It's still working after thousands of years. After millennia, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. It still works. Yeah.
So this is like something that you would practice over time. And it's really a very good tool for healers and therapists and coaches, because, they need to be in tune with themselves before they can even address this with anyone else, right?
Yeah. And then when you learn the ETHOS method, and we're giving that away free, so don't go away, everybody. But when you learn ETHOS, that you can use this tool in conjunction with ETHOS, and it like takes a second to use, by the way, and it's invisible. That's what people like about it, is no tapping. But you got that, and you got that, and you bring them together, and it's kind of the healer, the spiritual person's self-healing toolkit that can be used out in just the space of your life. People use it in a boardroom, on a bus, on a plane. Nobody can tell you're doing it. And then you just suddenly, you're over your thing. Whatever the thing was, you're over it.
That sounds really awesome. And I know so many of our listeners are going to want to hear about that. So how can they look more into the work that you do and this ETHOS method?
Okay, I'm at everywomanchanges.com, everywomanchanges.com, and I have a gift for everybody that is at a special URL. It's at marya.ms, and it's inner biz, capitalize the I and capitalize the B, INNER, capital BIZ, inner biz. And you can download the entire ETHOS method there. And it's an Align Your Inner Game for Greater Business and Personal Success set of teachings.
Oh, that sounds like so many people.
Ebook, ongoing classes, etc.
Beautiful. I know you're a wealth of knowledge, and I know that so many of our listeners would love to check out all your work. We're going to include a link to your free gift, so it'll be a lot easier for people to click on it and just get straight to that.
Great.
Thank you so much for chatting with me. Like, so many other conversations are popping over in my head that I'd love to have with you later on.
And I want to encourage people to friend me on Facebook. I'm Maryam Webster on Facebook, and you know, I would love to meet you. I'm very accessible.
Yes. And wonderful conversation we had so far, and I'm very happy to be acquainted with you. And thank you, everybody else, and I hope you really enjoyed what you heard today, and we're going to sign off for now. Well, take care.
Bye.
Bye.